Good boy, baby. Welcome back to Stage Element, where we share, heal, and create through art. Let's begin. I'm so glad that you're back at Stage Element and you showed up for yourself, because today we're going to create emotional color wheel. If you have not seen the meaning of colors, you can watch the previous video that is on my channel. So go please see that so you know the color meaning, and that's going to help you create the color wheel. Here is something that I'm using at the moment. I got this from one of my friends. She's a counselor. I got it for a specific reason. I had very hard time to understand what was I feeling and where were those feelings coming from. So this color wheel has helped me a lot. But I realized something, that I have to create my own color wheel, and that's what we're going to do together. So let's begin. This is the part where you can pause the video and download PDF format of this, my emotions, down in subscription, as well as PDF format of all the emotions listed. First step, we have to pick 10 emotions that you feel that are most common to you. So let's do that. Step number 2 is choosing our colors. Again, if you have not seen the video, this is the time where it would be very beneficial for you to watch the video of color meaning, since you will know exactly how those colors affect you and what are the meaning behind them. I hope you have your emotional chart as well as your color. So let's begin. Now that you have colors, you can choose your emotions. So for example, yellow represented joy. So we can choose that, and you can choose one of these corners and that can be your joy. So you can kind of color it in. Or again, you can choose any different color that brings you joy. You can choose orange, you can choose mint, you can choose sky blue, turquoise, any kind of color that brings you that joy. So for example, this would be our yellow spot. And so you can put those emotions that were representing that joyous feeling. For example, it can be excited, it can be joyful, maybe you feel grateful, or even thrilled. To make it more artistic, you can do a little bubble around the word so they pop out, and just kind of fill it up. Again, I started this way, but you can do it different as well. And you can write over here that that's your main emotion. So that would be your joy. Then next step, you can choose the opposite. So opposite from joy, sadness, right? And a lot of times, if you even think about that movie Inside Out, sadness was blue. Particularly for me, I will pick pink because pink is my least favorite color. So that will be the sadness for me. Again, if it's your favorite color, nothing against that. You can choose different colors. This is just my personal emotional wheel that I'm making. You pick your own colors, all right? So we're going to write down sad. So it's visual because I am very visual myself. I have to see it and things that make you sad. So for example, it can be shame. It can be loneliness, dissatisfied. Or sometimes you can feel sad just because you are tired or bored. Like those could be things as well. And again, for example, there you put some bubbles, but here you can put like lines if you want to. It's your piece of art. You don't have to follow exactly what I do. You don't have to pick the same colors. It's all for you. It's all what is happening in your own emotional world. So there you go. See, I picked the pink, even though pink should be the happy color, but just like I mentioned, pink is not my favorite, so that's why I picked it for sad. So this is anger. And you can even put it down. So I will choose black because anger just kind of represents black to me. It's that darkness. So I will just use that as my anger color. But you can use different color. Of course, you can use like red, which also, like I mentioned before, represents rage and aggression in some way. So you can use that. So I will choose the anger. So you look at your 10 emotions and just think about those that fit in this little aisle of anger. For example, I get very angry when I'm betrayed. For example, controlled, injustice. Injustice makes me angry. What else? And of course, hurt. Like sometimes we think hurt is coming from sadness, but actually it's coming from anger because we're so angry that we're hurt, kind of suffocate in that anger. Have you ever felt that way sometimes, where you just feel so angry that you just want to feel like explosion? So yeah, that's how anger works on us. Like, again, be creative and put them in a box. You don't have to follow, you can do it your own, a little bit more like that. And see, I always left some space because it's not fulfilled right away. Because emotions, there's a lot of emotions that we can write down. You always want to do the opposites. That's kind of our emotions, how they work. Like, if you have joy, then you would do opposite sadness, because that will help you see. For example, if you look at your loneliness, you're like, wow, I feel lonely. And in joy, what do you want to feel? Be like, oh, I want to feel grateful. Like, how do you feel grateful? And then you just look into that and you just write all the things that you're grateful for, and that sadness and that feeling of loneliness just turns into that gratefulness. So that's why we're doing the opposite, the freedom. And freedom color for me is going to be green. Again, if you look around the world, everything is green mostly, and I mentioned that in my video before. But yes, it's just that color of new life and just growth, and it brings so much freedom. When I feel open, feel loved, heard, like when people can hear me and they heard what I've said, valued. I am honest, for example. Yeah. So again, in this case, you can do something different. I'll just do like little hearts, just to be creative. I am gonna stop here because I don't want to take too much of your time, but this should be the idea that you get, where you can fill up your emotions and create your own emotional wheel. I hope that this was very helpful and you're going to utilize it, and also share with other people of how to use your colors and emotions in a beneficial way. So I just encourage you to continue to track your emotions and get in touch with them. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because next video is going to show you how you can use your wheel of emotions, and I will share what I have done in the past and how I have discovered what emotions are triggered emotions and how to deal with all the emotions that just come out of nowhere and how to even recognize them. So again, if that's something you want to discover about yourself, please join me and subscribe at Stasj Element. I would love to see you back.